The Airbus company is experiencing something extraordinary during its lifetime. They have an incredible amount of demand, and many customers are looking forward to focusing on Airbus instead of Boeing. However, that demand is overwhelming compared to the current production rate of the company. Let's first look at Airbus's current state of demand. And according to the global market forecast of 2024 to 2043 from Airbus, the plane maker is experiencing pre-COVID production levels as it is returning to a very high demand and is forced to accelerate its productions, making the company grow a lot. They have a projected demand of 42,000 new aircraft deliveries in the next 2 decades, which sounds really cool, but wait until you hear this. The company has a backlog of 8,500 aircraft as of the end of June 2024, and even Airbus's CEO Guillaume Faury said that they had to reject orders or even delay them until around 2030. For example, the A220 series, increasingly popular for its fuel efficiency and passenger comfort, has accumulated 105 orders, but only 285 airframes were produced, having a backlog of 520 orders, which is a lot. You might ask why there's an incredible amount of demand for Airbus. Well, you see, the forecast even predicts that the air traffic density would significantly increase for the next 20 years, and they expect an 8% increase per year. The limited amount of trust that airlines have with Boeing, which is also a really good factor, it really affects this growing number of sales, especially with what happened with the door at the Alaska Airlines flight at January 15th, and the customers complaining that the aircraft having missing parts and bolts, which is ridiculous for such a plane maker that had an incredible reputation before. And you might ask, why can't they cope with it? Well, yes, I hear you. And it is because there are several reasons, but one of them is because the company has run out of engineers and people that are experts at building aircraft, while Airbus simply doesn't have that many employees to expand their league, as well as to cope with the insane amount of demand, especially since they need to be trained and it hurts the speed of the process of manufacturing. This is the effect of the fact that most manufacturers working for Airbus were either laid off or had an early retirement during the quarantine days. Certain parts of the aircraft are considered problematic to deal with, which is also another big reason, like engines, the airframe itself, and cabin materials and equipment. And Airbus, you have to realize that the aviation industry is an entire market of many companies, and if one company struggles with its production or sales, etc., there's a chain reaction of the entire industry, and this is no exception because Airbus is not honestly the only one involved with this problem. It's a chain reaction between different suppliers and manufacturers that also have a problem with production. More specifically, one of the suppliers for the popular CFM LEAP engines has slowed down its production of turbine engines for commercial aircraft, which in effect, it is slowing down the process of making aircraft in the first place for Airbus. So if this is a problem, what are their future plans to deal with it? Well, Airbus has already been making plans to get out of this problem. Even the CEO has confirmed that, but for now the demand is still going, which is a result of the company being really consistent and successful with their product. But every time that happens, the company needs to adapt to keep up with their demand.